Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel, that is the R in the RK Stumblingbear, and I'm a reader and a writer. And I'm back to do my Buzzwordathon TBR for 2026, but first I'm going to do my recap for 2025. In 2025, it was the first time that Lala did besides the buzzword title prompt, also a cover challenge. And in the past, I've always tried to read these like in the month that they are chosen. And yeah, I didn't do very good last year. I ended up only attempting 5 of the prompts, 3 for the title and 2 for the cover. Of those 5, 2 I DNF'd and 3 I gave 4 stars to. So in January, the title prompt was Truth and Lies. I chose The Truth According to Ember by Danica Nava, and I DNF'd it. The premise setup of it all was too unbelievable for me. No. I couldn't see where somebody who was lying like this would ever be able to recover with their love interest in the situation that they were set up in. So yeah, it didn't go well for me. For the cover prompt was Patterns, and for that I had chosen After Atlas by Emma Newman because of the stars. I take it back, they're not stars, they're numbers, like binary code. And this was a very fun sci-fi mystery genre mashup. So in February, the prompt was Water Words, and I actually didn't read this in February, I ended up reading it in June, but I read it last year, so it counts. I have Ocean's Gadori by Elaine Yucho. And this is a sci-fi, which I really enjoyed, except that the end of the book just ends. It's like this is part 1 and then there's another part 2. I wouldn't even call it a cliffhanger, it just ends. So I was frustrated with that. I do want to read the second book, but I'm still a little pissed, so that's why I haven't picked it up yet. For March, the title prompt was Thing, and I did It's Not Hysteria. Everything is part of the subtitle. And that's by Dr. Karen Tang. This is a nonfiction talking about female gynecological health. And if you have a daughter or you are a woman, I would say that this is actually really important to read. Dr. Tang goes over different vaginal conditions, and she's very specific of this is not for self-diagnosis, but if you recognize some of these symptoms, go talk to a specialist, go talk to your doctor. And then, interestingly enough, like in the last chapter, she goes over what to expect the first time you're going to have a pap smear, and it's like something you would want to give to a young woman who hasn't had that experience yet, which I thought was interesting. It was interesting placement of it, but also, yeah, that's why I said if you have a daughter, read this. If you're a woman, important to read it. Also because it really is important to talk about this with the other females in your family. Sometimes you have things in common, sometimes you don't, but it's good to have those conversations. And then for the cover prompt for March was books, and for that I had picked up The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield, and I DNF'd this. I thought this was going to be something completely different than what it was, and yeah, it didn't work for me. So I'm sure that I have actually read other things. I have completed the other prompts, but they weren't the books I had chosen for those prompts. So we're just going to go on to 2026 now. And I will do the title challenge first. Now for 2026, I am not planning to read these prompts in the month that they're actually assigned. And that was something that Lala even said is, you don't have to do that. So I'm just planning to, in later months, going, okay, this month I'm going to try to read these prompts. This month I'm going to try to read these prompts. I'm thinking maybe May, July time period. We'll see. But starting with the title challenges. In January, the challenge is before and after. And for this one, I have chosen After the Forest by Kel Woods. And I'm not going to go into all the books because for a lot of them, I don't necessarily remember what the description says. For February, it is keyboard keys. So that was any key that you find on your keyboard. And what I found was Escape Velocity by Victor Manabo. For March, we have This and That. And she said you could also stretch that to these. So that's what I have done. And I am planning to read These Burning Stars by Bethany Jacobs. For April, we have ordinal numbers. And ordinal numbers are like first, second, third. And for that, the book I've chosen is None of the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. Yes, this was on my 2025 buzzword list for something, and no, I didn't read it, so I'm reading it this year. It's fine. Electo isn't slated to be out yet. For May, the title prompt is Make, and for this one, I am planning on listening to You Can Make This Place Beautiful by Maggie Smith, who is an actress that I just adore her work. For June, we have a one-word title, and for that, I am planning on reading James by Percival Everett. July, we have occupations, and I am planning on reading The Rent Collector by Cameron Wright. For August, we have groups or clubs, and I am planning to do The Boys in the Boat by Daniel James Brown, since this is a team that's hoping to go to the Olympics. In September, we have the prompts of me or my, and she did say you could stretch this to mine. However, I found a book that has my on it, so I have Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. October is Parts of a House, and for this I have chosen The Midnight Library, since a library is a room in a house. And this is by Matt Haig. Also is on my 50 to read before I turn 50. Just realized like they have that stupid sticker there, but it's actually printed on there. November, the prompt is instructional title. So it's like the title is telling you to do something. And for that, I have Fall on Your Knees by Anne Marie MacDonald. Like I said, a lot of these books, I don't remember any of the descriptions. My TBR list is thousands long, so things have gotten on there, and I'm just like, okay, let's try it and figure out. I'm sure someone suggested it to me at one point in time. And for December, the title prompt is superlatives, and so this is like best, most, greatest, and for that I have The Best of All Possible Worlds by Karen Lord. This was also my 2025 BuzzRead prompt. Didn't read it, so it's working here. Those are my titles. Now let's go into my cover prompts. For January, the first one is body parts, and it's internal body part. And for that, I have I Fell in Love with Hope by Lancali, because the skeleton is inside, it's internal in your body. For February, the prompt is silhouette, and I have Prisoner of the Mound Builders by Lloyd Harnischfeger. For March, the prompt is action or movement, and for that I have Tokyo Kill, and this boat is in motion. Oh, and this is by Barry Lancet. April is accessories, and for that I have Hula by Jasmine Iolani Hakes, and besides her hat, we got the bracelets, anklets, we got accessories. May is a border, and that's like a border around. For this one, I am using The Essentials of Neruda, selected poems. It's kind of hard to see. There is a border here. The border's also on the side. I'm counting up. This, I am not a poetry person, but I think my sister got this for me because Neruda wrote in Spanish, and so you will have the Spanish poem on one side, and then you have the English translation poem on the other side. June, the cover prompt is Wings, and that I have Island of Wings by Karen Altenberg. And this was a book that I was given by a fellow booktuber, Margaret Pinard, a long time ago, and I want to read it. July, the cover prompt is a metallic element on the cover, and for that I'm going with Year of Wonders by Geraldine Brooks, and this right here is, there we got the light, it's a metallic element. For August, it says Damage. And now the way she described this was not necessarily that the cover, your copy of the cover itself has damage on it, but that there's like things, I mean, if I want to be technical, this could be considered damage because there is no cover. But she also said like things that are like damaging the cover, like is part of the design. I've tentatively put in place here Trace Elements by Joe Walton and Ada Palmer, because not the cover itself, but has pictures of other covers that definitely have worn damage on them. So I might be stretching this prompt a little bit. For September, the prompt is Fire and Smoke, and for that one I am going with Iron Flame. Got the fire on there. For October, the prompt is Doors, Keys, or Locks, and I am going with the Doomsday Book, which let's see, it might be hard to see unless you open it out all the way, but she is sitting in a doorway, so definitely has a door on it. For November, the prompt is Reflection, so it's something on the book cover that reflects, and for that I went with The Monstrous Citadel by Mira Bolander, and there's a reflection of a city in there. And for the last prompt is Music for December, and that's like an instrument or something on there, and I just happened to get this beautiful copy of The Vanished Birds from The Broken Binding. He's playing an instrument, there's music notes. I love that this worked out for me. So those are the books that I am planning on reading for the Buzzword 2026 challenge. Like I said, not planning to read one for each prompt a month. I'm just going to try to read a group at a time in different months. Are you also participating in this challenge? If so, I'd love to know some of the books that you have chosen for these prompts. Thank you, and have a great day.